Hi, Michael Chu here. I'm a realtor based in San Francisco Bay Area with eXp Realty, and I'm here to share a bit of real estate knowledge so you can make informed decisions. Today's topic is cash offer, and hopefully at the end of the video, you will understand a few new terminologies and what drives buyers and sellers in this transaction. The cash offer. Did you know most buyers buy retail? By that, it means that the house is in a moving condition and it's at full market price. So retail buyers typically take out a mortgage loan with financing contingency and takes the full 30 to 45 days to close a deal. In contrast, investors pay all cash to buy properties. There are two types of residential investors: buy and hold and buy and flip investors. So the buy and hold investor buys the property and holds it for income producing purposes and increase their positive cash flow. The buy and flip investor, on the other hand, makes one-time profit by buying the property, makes significant improvements, and then sell the property immediately or as quickly as possible to retail buyers, and then move on to the next property. So for these two types of investors, the math is quite different. And since in Northern California, buy and hold math doesn't really work out, so most investors look for a flip, and that is what we're focusing on today. So let's take a look at the flip math. So there are some terminologies here. For instance, what is a MAO, ARV, repair estimate, investor margin, and basically when we put these into a formula, this is how investors decide on what property and how much to make an offer. So MAO stands for maximum allowed offer, and this is the amount investors will not go over in order to make a profit for the investment. ARV stands for after repair value, and this is the full value of the property at the high end of the neighborhood comp. Repair estimate is the amount it takes to bring the property value from the current condition up to the point of full value, full price. And finally, investor margin is what investors expect to make in a deal, minus the selling and carrying cost. So here's the formula. MAO equals ARV minus gross margin minus repair estimate. Since home selling typically costs around 10%, and depending on how quickly the rehab process completes, there are carrying costs in the 2 to 3% range. So in the end, investors are counting on about 10%. So that's the 20 to 25 minus the 10 minus the 3. So in that vicinity, between 8 to 12%. So let's take an example and explain this further. Let's say there's a property that can fetch $1.5 million after repair value. Then, in order to calculate the MAO, the investor, of course, will deduct out the 20-25% ARV. And let's say in this case, the repair estimate is actually about $200,000. So in this case, you will see that MAO is actually equal to the $1.5 million minus the 300 minus the 200, and it comes up to about 1 million, maybe a little bit shy of it. But that's how investors will basically formulate the offer price and offer to the seller in this case. So for sellers, this means a very deep discount. So it is not something a regular seller will want to do. So what may be the benefit to seller to consider a cash offer? The biggest benefit of a cash offer is that the buyer can close with all cash, meaning no lender no loan contingency, and almost immediately. The seller gets no contingency cash to resolve the life event that forced the seller to consider selling in the first place. So one of these life events hits, and the seller is in a hurry to get access to cash or to get out of the property, then a cash offer may be for you. A typical life event would include death in the family, divorce, big medical expenses, probate, lien, pre-foreclosure, bankruptcy, just to name a few. Also, so another benefit for seller is that there is no cleanup. There's no staging, no showing, no repair, no MLS necessary, and the transaction can complete very quickly, even without neighbors knowing. As a seller, keep in mind that your net comes from the sale is the selling price minus the mortgage on hand, or any selling cost plus any liens and judgments. So each seller situation would be different, and there may be the question of where to move to next. Even though a cash offer can occur very quickly, it is still better to have realtor representation to negotiate for the best deal. Well, in a nutshell, this is how the investor buyer and a distressed seller would look at the cash offer transaction. And even in this crazy market, it probably is still a good idea to have realtor's guide for both sides towards meeting of the minds so the transaction can complete. Until next time, stay curious so making the right decision becomes easy. I hope you found the content interesting and helpful, and I'd love to hear from you about what you liked, disliked, so comment, describe, and hit the bell so I will make more videos like this one. Thanks, and bye for now.